So when responding to a call, the issues that the officers will face are wide and varied. There's no doubt that the biggest challenge for officers is being able to deal with that call in the short amount of time that they're given, to allow them to get the right information, to give the right service, and then to move on and go on to the next call. And so that's really important that we get that first contact right. And that's actually really important for officers to think about each call differently. When they arrive, they need to think about what they're now to face, not what they've been facing. And so it's really important that officers take a step back and think to themselves, right, how do I need to deal with this young person? In order to understand what we're going to do with that young person, we need to listen to them and hear what's being said.
I have been through a situation myself where I went into the police as help, and I was at the reception and they just didn't give me the attention. They said that I had to get a video of what was happening to me, which was put me in a dangerous place, and it made me, when it happened again, I've been through a similar thing, it made me want to not go to the police or get any help. So it does affect you in a big way.
They need to communicate better. They need to always be friendly, respectful with how they speak and come up to people. Don't always judge because how young people look, and just always think about them.
The whole chain of an investigation starts with the initial contact with the young person, the victim, whoever that person may be. So if we improve that initial contact, if we improve that relationship from the word go, it's only going to have a beneficial effect on every single stage of that investigation, of that contact with police. They'd be more reassured. Police would then have a better efficiency of their use of time, so that we get the results cleaner and quicker.
I think one of the errors we can make as police in an investigation is that we are so focused on getting the evidence from that young person that we don't consider their needs. We don't explain things properly to them about the process. We don't keep them updated, and sometimes we'll update the parent but not explain things to them, which is quite disempowering. And at a time when they are experiencing a lot of stress and anxiety over what might have happened to them, we're then taking even more of their control away from them by not letting them know what's happening.
Young people have to feel believed, and if they're not believed, they're not gonna want to process anything, because it makes them feel worse.
Careful listening is so important, because you could actually miss the vital clue that young person is actually giving you, and you miss the hook.
It's important to make sure that they're telling the young person why they're filming it and who they're going to show it to. When the young person gives their statement, they should read it back to them so that it ensures that everything that they've said is there, and to just keep on reassuring the young person and to tell them every single step that they make, so that the young person feels like they're involved in their own sort of case in a way.
They should probably ask other professionals to come in and speak to them and tell them we'll help you through these stages and through what you're going through at the minute and stuff like that.
More young people would be able to trust the police, like a lot, and they wouldn't always be thinking, oh, I can't go to the police because they won't understand or they won't listen.
There'll be a number of significant impacts on this going forward, I think. Certainly in respect of the disclosures coming through, because there is obviously a lack of disclosures coming through from CSE survivors, CSE victims.
Things like achieving best evidence will just be done a lot quicker, more crimes can be solved if needs be. Just more progression in the future as well. Do you know what I mean? If someone else had a good experience, then that would influence others and other young people to talk to the police and maybe disclose about other crimes.
They would build a positive relationship with the police officers. So if they feel like they're at risk again, they have someone to turn to who they know and who they trust.
I think thinking about a primary police role, it is to safeguard our communities and particularly our young people. If we engage with our young people better, then it's going to enable them to give them the information that they have the evidence that they may be able to provide for us to give us better and successful prosecutions, or some other way of safeguarding those young people.
Put yourself in their situation and understand that the first thing that you say has the potential impact of destroying everything, or actually being the start of a really, really good opportunity.
I would say to afford that young person the time to speak, show them that you are serious about listening, maybe by removing your body armour and sitting down comfortably and showing that you've got time. Even though you might not have time, and even though the radio might be blaring in your ear, it might be that day that that young person decides they're going to disclose something to you that's important.
Listening to young people is really, really effective. Treating them as though it's the first time that we've met them, and not bringing the baggage of previous meetings or our own stereotypes would be really, really important for officers today.
Always be respectful, no matter what mood you're in, because if you got approached with disrespect, you're going to get disrespect back, which creates a whole unnecessary drama which could have just been done and dusted.
So if the police did the things that I've mentioned, the benefits that they should have are that they would build a positive relationship with the young person. Hopefully there'll be less negative terminology used towards them and less abuse. The young person will feel listened to. They would feel respected more. In a way, they would feel like the police officers being empathetic towards them, because they're actually listening and taking on board what they're saying, and they're showing some compassion by keeping them informed throughout what's going on. So there's a lot of benefits that either one side can have.
We've listened a lot to lots of different people. Are we truly hearing the message?
The young people do want to talk to us. And, you know, they do want to be on board with us, but we've got to give them that reason to be on board, and give them the faith and the trust and the confidence then to be able to talk to us. And if we do those things, like everything that we've talked about on the Marginal Gains, we can get there.